Alright, here we go, we're live. How's everyone doing? Thank you very much for tuning into this one. Let me know down in the live chat, can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay? We've got a beautiful little dump in this market right now, which I want to go through with you. I've got quite a few thoughts on this one, a few key levels, a few things that I'd love to see, a few things I don't want to see. So let's get straight into it once you guys let me know if everything is okay. All good? Perfect. Alright, here we go. So Bitcoin ended up topping out up here at $50,000. Topped out a little bit earlier than I expected, about $1,000 earlier. But it's now taken its way all the way down to 48. So we've seen a $2,000 drop since that point yesterday. And that's fine. It's okay. Bitcoin was trading in a bull flag previously, and it's not in that bull flag anymore. It has broken down below it, unfortunately. Ethereum and other cryptos, I think, are actually looking significantly worse. They are all, broadly speaking, down to their support levels, so that is great. But what I'm not so happy to see is just how much they've dropped, right? If we take a look at the right-hand side over here, hopefully you can see this, Bitcoin down by 0.7%, Ethereum down by 1.25. So Ethereum actually about 50% worse than Bitcoin today, if we calculate it that way. It's just not performing as well. My glasses need a bend on the nose part. Thank you very much. I'm going to save that for after the live stream though. But yeah, we are seeing a dump in the market. Bitcoin getting hit the least out of all of the coins. This is very, very normal and very healthy. But what's absolutely critical at this point in the market, and the very, very important level that you guys need to be aware of right now, is this area right here between 47,600 and 48,000. This small $400 or $500 range is essential for Bitcoin in my opinion, and I'm going to demonstrate for you exactly why that is. What I actually want to do is just kind of extend this box real quick for you to really give you a sense of scale for how important this box is. So I'm just going to kind of zoom out and stretch this box back as far as I can, just horizontally, and then recenter the chart just like that. By the way, if you're wondering how I do this, you just double click on the y-axis right here, and you're going to be able to manipulate the chart back to normal. And what we can see with this box right here is that this has been an important level for Bitcoin in the past. And what I want to specifically focus your attention on is when Bitcoin in these few instances has used this area as support, because that's exactly what I want to see Bitcoin doing right now, right? If we bring it back to the current day chart, Bitcoin has pretty much fallen down to this box. And this box, by the way, was already drawn. So those of you who are subscribed to this YouTube channel, those of you who've been hitting up the likes, I love you all so much. Thank you very much. You would have known about this because we've already outlined this level. If you're in VIP, you'll know even more about this because I've been talking about this level a lot inside of 4Fly's VIP. So this is something that we've been looking at for quite a while, and Bitcoin has perfectly managed to bounce off the top of this box now, which is good. But this general area, the reason I think it's so important is that historically it's been important as support and resistance, but very recently, just this month, we saw two very clear rejections off this level, right? So when we're getting clear rejections off a level like this, by the way, notice the lights, it's red today, so very, very cool thing we can do with the office here. When we're getting these kind of rejections right here, and they're very recent, I would very much expect them to turn into support if we end up trading lower. And the reason for that is this is essentially, in my view, a chance for the bulls to show us that while the bears are going to try and bring the market lower, the bulls are willing and ready to step in to buy Bitcoin right here. And let's just break down psychologically why somebody might want to do that, right? People would want to buy Bitcoin at these kind of levels if they think that it's a good deal. If they think that buying Bitcoin at these levels would be a good deal, that's where they would want to be buying Bitcoin. And so if we get a little bit of a dip like this and it's responded to with strength, kind of like we've seen so far, that to me is a really, really good sign of strength. Take a look at this on the 5-minute time frame just to show you how strong this bounce was. Now, this wasn't an absolutely mind-blowing bounce, but if we look at volume down here, and let me just make this a little bit brighter so you can tell quite clearly how nice the green volume has been. We got quite a nice green volume spike right here. Let me just bring the reds out a little bit as well so we can tell those a bit clearer as well. There's a nice volume spike right here on Coinbase, right? The market does like the idea of Bitcoin kind of, falling down to these levels for a buy. And by the way, just how precise is that? I mean, I couldn't make this stuff up. The way, time to take a new tissue. Yes, sir, I will take a new tissue. I don't know what this is. I just got a runny nose like 5 minutes before this live started, which is extremely annoying. But yeah, this bounce is absolutely beautiful. It's coming in with some volume, and for the bulls, this is telling us that the bulls are willing to buy Bitcoin at these levels. But what's it telling to the bears? This is also telling to the bears that while they are trying to drive the price down, by the way, not on huge volume, right? On dumps, we generally see much more volume than this. While the bears are trying to drive the price lower, they're now being told, no, you can't take it below this level. This is support. And that specifically is what is so exciting to me right here. If we look at this again on the 1 hour time frame and we zoom out just a little bit, this area has acted as clear resistance in the past recently. However, now we're coming back and saying, no, this is support now. This is a floor for Bitcoin, and that gets very, very exciting for me, right? When we're talking about being able to rise higher, we don't just do it in straight lines. I mean, a healthy trend would look like this when you zoom out, but when you zoom in, it's going to look a little bit more like this, right? And so what I'm all about is I love seeing these little bounces right here. This is where you make the money, right? If we're looking at a big trend, and I need to make this point very clearly to you guys right now, let me know if you find these explanations useful or not. If you don't, I'll stop doing them. But you've got a trend right here, right? And the overall direction is upwards. That's obviously Bitcoin since $30,000, and we're now at 50, right? So the normal way the market will move is going to be a little bit more like this. The average is the first line I've drawn, but the market will usually move in kind of zigzag patterns like this, and it can be anything in between. It doesn't really matter. But the key thing is these dips right here, these are the lows in the market, and they're generally at, obvious places. They're at places that you can determine to be areas of support. So we've done that a lot on this YouTube channel. I've talked to you about Fibonacci levels and different things like that for support. I've talked to you about EMAs. I've talked to you about Ichimokus. I mean, many of these things have turned out... This is extremely annoying. Many of these things have turned out to be... I can smell. I don't have COVID, don't worry. Many of these things have turned out to be good areas of support for the trend, and that definitely, to me, means that Bitcoin is kind of continuing that kind of staircase pattern where we're trending higher, but then we're getting these small moves down to test old areas of resistance as new areas of support, and then we're continuing that move higher. There's actually a very, very interesting chart that I'm going to show you probably in the next video, and that video is going to be very, very interesting for you guys, where actually it kind of forecasts Bitcoin absolutely rocket ship rising higher up to levels, I don't know, like if I did the math off the top of my head, probably to levels like at least 150k, and it looks super, super accurate. So it's with a particular chart. I'll show it to you later. It's from a member of our team, probably not in this live stream, so subscribe to the channel so you can catch it in the next YouTube video that we upload, which will probably be today. But definitely very nice to see that support. And if we do zoom out, this is where it gets really nice for me, right? If we look at this on the daily time frame, I really, really like this chart. We are seeing very nice movement for Bitcoin trending up, and then equally nice pullbacks for Bitcoin. It kind of hits these resistance levels, and then it's bouncing off support really, really nicely. This is getting extremely annoying. I need a nasal spray. Do we have a nasal spray? No, I don't think we do. Anyway, this support level right here, acting as great support, and this is the Fibonacci level that I was telling you guys a couple minutes ago, by the way. But that support absolutely great, and then rising up higher to resistance, getting these pullbacks, right? We're moving in very, very healthy ways. But since this big move was initiated, Bitcoin did not form a pullback. And what I really like about this, and what you really need to focus your attention on right here, in my opinion, is the length of the up moving candles, the length of these blue candles compared to the length of these orange candles, right? Now, obviously, today has not ended, so this daily candle can close way lower. I mean, this can turn out to be a $20,000 crash. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't see the future. But as it is right now, it's very, very clear. There was a reversal candle right here, and then this candle moving up, and this candle moving up right here. These were both big green, in this case, blue candles. But the down candles we're getting, they're very small. We're seeing small small pullbacks and big moves upwards. And so this is just another way of saying, in my opinion, that we're getting, like 10 steps forward, 2 steps back. And that's fine. That's really, really good. It's coming at great levels. If we take a look at where some of the support is on this chart as well, take a look at the Ichimoku cloud. Bam, look at that. We're so close to it right now. It actually lines up with my yellow box, my orange box right here on this chart. So there's some really good support for Bitcoin around these levels with the Ichimoku cloud on the 1 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, it is quite far away, which is not good. But if we look at moving averages, our EMA ribbon is right where we've already bounced off. So we have support with that 4 hour EMA ribbon all the way down to the high $46,000 level. And obviously, I'm not expecting this to be a big pullback because I don't think Bitcoin actually needs one yet. I don't think it's reached its real area of resistance. What we're seeing right here, in my opinion, is just the psychological selling that's fueled after reaching a key turning point in the market, which in this case was $50,000, right? We got very, very close to that. I just think it's a temporary pullback before we hit the real resistance, which is going to be closer to about 51 or 52,000. And so beautiful Ichimoku support on the 1 hour. Great EMA support on the 4 hour as well. And on the 1 day, take a look at this. We've got some nice support significantly lower as well, down to the bottom of the $40,000 range. So that's to say again that even if all of this fails, there's still a lot going for this market right here, in my opinion. Guys, if you have any questions, please start dropping them in the comments now. I'm not going to be very long on this live stream because I do have to get going for a meeting. But if you are, actually it's an online meeting, but anyway, if you are having any questions, any charts you want me to go through, now is the time to drop it in the comments. By the way, thank you all for already hitting the likes. I see that. I do appreciate that. And those of you who've subscribed, love you all. Let's carry on with this though. I want to take a very, very quick look at Ethereum and the rest of these markets. This is not something I'm going to spend too much time on because I actually am going to be making separate videos on these coins directly after this. So after a couple of hours, you're going to see my Ethereum video, probably going to make a Cardano video. I might make some more as well. So definitely just stay on standby for that. Looking out for those. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We are absolutely killing it inside of VIP. Here's one that I actually wanted to show you, which we just got a little bit, fairly recently. This person mentioned that this account started from $2,500, and if we really zoom in, you can see now that this account has blown up to nearly $14,000. Absolutely amazing stuff right here. This guy's obviously got a fair amount of Bitcoin already, but this specific account that he's showing us started from $2,500 and hit 14. So that is a I don't know, I can't do the math. I think it's nearly a 6 times increase on this person's account that this person enjoyed. And this is probably the best part. Just want Sammy to show these on the channel and wherever. I only started trading in April. This is August, so that's 4 months ago. This person saw mad gains thanks to the course plus VIP. Guys, the course and VIP is such a powerful combination where by following these steps, you're going to be getting access to every bit of information about every single trade I make. You're also going to be learning about exactly what the thought processes go on in my mind are inside of our course. So this is a one-time investment where you've got to watch it once and then keep tabs on the VIP group where we send alerts straight to your smartphone, so you don't need to sit at your laptop and all those things to get this stuff done. We're just pinging it straight to your phone, where you're going to learn everything about what I do. You're going to learn all the theory, and then you're going to watch me implementing it with the practical inside of VIP. It is such a killer combination. These results are not super rare, where we're seeing people blow up accounts. Look at this. This is a nearly 6 times gain, right? From 2,500 to 14. Very, very impressive. And then not happening over a crazy period of time. April to August is the same right now as August to December. That's something for you to chew on. That's the same 4-month time period. August to December is going to go by just as quickly as April to August did for this guy, but here he is with nearly a 6 times gain. So very, very impressive. And if you're not really sure about this stuff and you want to find out if it's for you, then you can also ask for a meeting with a member of my team or even myself. I don't do them too much because I'm quite busy these days, but if you want to speak to a member of my team, then definitely reach out following these steps on screen right here, and we can see if you'd be a good fit for 4Flies VIP. So here's the steps again. First link in the description, at 4Flies button, and then send message. I'm going to start going through your questions now though. Thank you very much for dropping them in. One of the final things I just want to say on this note right now is we are getting a bounce. My one concern with this is that Bitcoin has, let me just bring my camera back on, Bitcoin has actually established an area of kind of support around here. Let's say that's the, mid $48,000 level, mid to high 48,000s. And actually, you know what, I'm just going to draw a box to make this simpler. Let's just say this is the kind of range that Bitcoin was trading in, and let's use a different color. If Bitcoin kind of, and let's zoom in more now to the 5-minute time frame, just for increased accuracy for this example, you see Bitcoin fell down to this area of old resistance, which flipped into support, and that's great. But this area has also, the bottom of this green box has also acted as support, so it can potentially turn into resistance now. I don't think it's going to. I'm quite doubtful that it will, but it can, and that is something which I can't ignore, right? Just like I said in reverse, guys, look, this area was resistance in the past, so I'm expecting it to be support now. That happened. Perfect. That's exactly what we predicted on this YouTube channel. Those of you who watch us, you'll know all about it, but it happens in reverse as well. Old areas of support can turn into new areas of resistance. So what does that mean? Well, if we get a rejection off here and Bitcoin starts moving lower, I'm going to abandon ship. I'm going to be very worried about Bitcoin, and I'm going to be expecting it to pull back significantly lower. What does significantly lower mean for me? That might just mean a couple $1,000s. It might not be such a huge drop, but it's still definitely something to keep an eye on for me, because this to me would be quite a bearish sign if Bitcoin did lose this level. I don't think it will, and as long as we climb back into this range, or ideally above it, but as long as we're at least in this range, we're good, and this was just a test. We can, I think, penetrate lower into this range and find more support all the way down to the mid $47,000 level. That would be fine, but as soon as we start dropping below that box, I'm going to start becoming a little bit concerned with the market once again, purely because it means that we're losing support. And if we're losing support, that might be a sign that we actually need a deeper correction, and maybe we need to kind of regather ourselves before attacking the market again. So, penetrating a little bit deeper into this level, fine. We have a lot of support. Look at this on the 1 hour time frame again. That Ichimoku cloud stretches all the way down to 46,000. So this is just me being extra paranoid. But look, I wouldn't like to see us getting below that box. And, that's purely because if we just look at this area of resistance, Bitcoin was only getting rejected in this small $400-500 gap. So dropping below that to me would mean that this support level has not functioned as it was supposed to, which means that we have to come lower to find new support. I still think we're great. I still think we're on track for hitting beautiful levels above $50,000 though. Let's go through your questions, and then I will have to call it a stream. So if you've enjoyed this one so far, you already know what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. Try magnesium calcium for a runny nose. Thank you very much. I will. I literally, like I said, I was completely fine before this live stream. This just happened like 5 minutes before before going live. So I'm sure I'll be fine afterwards. It's just my body overreacting because I'm in front of a camera. Let's see what else we have here. What do I recommend as a key buy option? I don't understand some of these questions. For flies, how about to ladder a position up from the... I can't give you investment advice. I'm very sorry. I didn't mention the inverse head and shoulders. Where is that? Where's the inverse head and shoulders? I don't see one. I see a potential head and shoulders right here if you're being very, very picky. Very, very almost desperate. But I don't see an actual head and shoulders pattern. I'm sorry. What about Cardano? Yeah, so I'll take a look at the altcoins. I am going to make separate videos on them. But, the main thing is that, look, Ethereum against the dollar right here, down by 1.4%. Bitcoin only down by 0.7, right? So this is definitely telling you a lot. Ethereum has literally lost double what Bitcoin has lost just today in terms of percent, and that tells you a little bit about the weakness of these markets. The good news for Ethereum is it's down to support, right? So support is a good thing. This definitely indicates that it could, this could be exactly what it needs in order to rise above that $3,300 level. I saw a comment on one of my videos. Somebody said that you know, I'm thinking of selling my Ethereum because it just can't get above 3,300 and it looks like it's not doing very well. And that's exactly what we need. You know, the more people start thinking like that, the more people start thinking, actually, Ethereum isn't going anywhere, I'm going to sell it. That's exactly when this thing is going to rocket ship up, in my opinion. You know, I could be wrong about that, obviously, but, you know, from the way I'm seeing this, I can't really expect anything else to happen at this stage right now. To me, it looks good in terms of support, and obviously it looks very, very fertile to trade. And obviously, if you guys are looking for a place to trade, you already know that I'm using Bybit. I've been with them for many years, and they are an absolutely amazing exchange. So make sure to check them out with the link down below, because you're going to be getting a bunch of extra free cash deposited straight into your account, just as a bonus for signing up when you use that link down below. So if you are looking for an exchange, Bybit is great. If you're looking for a backup, which you need to have if you don't already have one, again, they are absolutely great, and with the link down below, you can sign up to them to get that special bonus where you're going to be getting some free cash deposited straight into your account. And for any exchange, if you're in countries like the United States, you should be using a VPN. I can't tell you to do that, I can't recommend it or not, but that's what I was doing when I was there. It's just good for your own safety because they can shut you down and steal your money. So definitely use a VPN if you're in a restricted territory. Even if you can access the exchange, it doesn't mean you're safe, just so you know. I mean, they can shut you down at any point in the future, and that's precisely why you need backups. You know, you can't just be trading with one trading account with all of your trading funds, because one day you can get shut down, and you're going to feel like an absolute fucking idiot. So, trust me, I've been in situations like that. You don't want to be there, and it's better for prevention than cure. So, again, Bybit is my place of choice. Let's see what else we have here in the comments. Cardano, you guys want me to talk about that? Let me actually add Cardano against the dollar to this chart real quick. It's time. It's time that I add that. Cardano against the dollar. Oh, topped out very, very nicely just recently and is now in a small drop. It looks like it's potentially going to find support off the same level that it topped out at just 2 days ago. So Cardano topped out at $2.57 roughly a few days ago, and yeah, it's getting a small bounce from here. I don't know. I don't see this bounce being big, to be honest. Cardano looks like it can fall more. This is actually the issue with trends like what Cardano is in right now, because it's trended up so aggressively at the moment that it just doesn't have any good support below it, you know, and it's great if you're, you know, making money on it, but on the way back down, you could be looking at big drops, and that's something I spoke about in yesterday's video. So again, go back and watch that if you're interested in my thoughts on Cardano. But if you want more on this, I'm going to be making separate videos dedicated to just these coins. Let's see if you have any final questions here, and I'll go through them, and then we can I'll probably have to call it a stream. Have a look on the DXY chart. It just printed a high on the daily. Yes, I saw that because it's on one of the monitors behind me right there, and that was very interesting. It's very cool to have these monitors. This is actually how I went live today. I was just sitting on my beanbag, which is from my side right here, and I saw it out of the corner of my eye that the markets were dumping massively. But anyway, let's take a look at the dollar index right here. Unfortunately, TradingView has been very buggy lately, and it's kind of deleted a bunch of my drawings. The dollar has risen quite nicely. Surprisingly, a lot of this rise was in conjunction with Bitcoin, which I have not really seen much of before. It happens sometimes, but it's quite rare. This recent dollar rise seems to be hurting Bitcoin. The good news is that the dollar right here, quite clearly in my view, is at a big area that has been very important for a long time in the past. Look at this. Look at this. Very, very, very important level for the dollar. It's acted as support all the way back to 2014, 2015 on this chart. And it's also been resistance. It's been a very, very influential level. And the dollar has just hit this level now. It's just kind of peaking at these areas. So if there's anywhere where I would expect this index to start struggling, it's right here. And if this index does start to struggle, that to me would indicate that it's going to drop a little bit. I think that would make a lot of sense. This has been quite a steep rally for the dollar. That's not to say that it can't pull off steep rallies. It's definitely done this quite a lot. But having a little bit of a pullback, even just a couple of percentage points, well, that would be a lot, but even just, half of a percentage point or less would be enough for Bitcoin, I think, to start peaking up towards 50, 51,000, because that is typically how it goes. When the dollar drops, that is typically when Bitcoin starts to rise. Someone's asking about fiat gateways. Bybit has fiat gateways, so if you want to buy Bitcoin for the first time, again, using that link down below, you can do that through Bybit. I can't really recommend any particular ones to you. I don't use fiat gateways. I use OTC brokers, but not everybody can do that. Someone's asking about VPNs in the UK, mate. I mean, you should be using a VPN no matter where you are in the world. It's like wearing a seatbelt, in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't matter where you are, you should be using a VPN. In my opinion. I mean, I can't tell you what to do. For flyers, is $24,000 still possible? Hell yeah, it is, man. I would love that. Tone Vase yesterday or 2 days ago was talking about how Bitcoin needs an 80% correction, where how Bitcoin needs to drop by at least 80% at some point. And that can mean that the 80% drop is initiated from 50,000, which would put us down to 10, or it could mean that the 80% drop is initiated from 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000. But the point is, he says we need to get one. And the reason for that is that, these altcoins, these shit coins are blowing up. And that is actually an indication that the market needs to correct. And they're going to eventually die. It happens all the time. This is as close to being factual as possible, in my opinion. If we get an 80% crash, but we've managed to rally up to $100,000, to me, that would make a lot of sense. You guys already know, I would love to see $20,000 for Bitcoin. I think that would be really fun. I would be buying a bunch, if Bitcoin was to fall down there. Right now, there's no conceivable way that I see Bitcoin getting down below even $40,000. I don't think Bitcoin can even get below 40 at the moment. But, these things can change very quickly, and often they change because of factors that, you and I have absolutely no way of predicting. From what was it, $10,000 down to $3,000, that coronavirus market crash last year in March. Other than the fact that there was a pandemic, there was absolutely no reason to believe that Bitcoin can drop that much. And so, that's how I think such a big crash would happen if it happens. At the moment, there's no indication of it. And the thing is, you can prepare yourself for these things all the time, but if you keep worrying about them, you're never going to make money. And so my take on these things, which VIPs see me putting into practice all the time with, my key risk management as well, which this person is exercising so well, is it's all about, I'm happy to take, 20 steps forward if eventually I know I'm going to move back by 5 steps. It's okay for me to, 10x my account if at the end of that, I'm going to lose 40% of all of my profits because I got absolutely fucked on a crash. Going up by 10x and then losing 40% is still going to put you really far ahead. Obviously, you're going to have some loss aversion, but that's life. And if you can't deal with that, you shouldn't be a trader, because trading is not as easy as you think it is. If you want to see how I'm trading and gain access to all of those insights in real time, exactly when I do it, you see what I'm doing. You see why I'm doing it. You see the levels I'm entering my trades at and different things like that. I've been very active inside of VIP. I can't talk too much about what's going on because there is something that VIPs know a lot about, but there is a trade setup I've shared right there. It's very, very, current. It's very relevant right now, and I don't know how long it's going to be relevant for. So if you've been on the fence, now is your time. We've had absolutely stellar results. Take a look at this once again. So impressive. This guy right here, joining in April, $2,500, blowing it up to 14,000. So very, very impressive. Beautiful risk management across the board with VIP members, just learning how to trade in very safe, clinical ways, because that's what trading is. If you think trading is like taking bumps of cocaine, you're in for a hell of a surprise. You'll only realize it, 6 months later. You'll only realize it 6 months later. You're not going to realize it now, but when you realize it, it'll be too late for a lot of people. A lot of people would have already blown up their accounts, and it'll be too late for them. So if you want to take it in what I would consider to be a safer, healthier way, here it is right in front of you. Very, very exciting times inside of 4Flares VIP. So definitely take advantage of it if you're interested. I do need to get going now, but if you have enjoyed this live stream, you already know what to do. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff. And I will see you all in the next video.